You stop blinking. Every single eyelid muscle freezes in the open position. Air hits the surface of your eyes. Moisture begins to evaporate. Within seconds, the thin layer of tears vanishes. The cornea starts to dry out. Your vision begins to blur slightly. A gritty sensation develops. It feels like a single grain of sand is trapped under the lid. Then it feels like 1,000 grains. The air is now an enemy. Every breeze is a sandpaper scrub. Burning becomes the primary sensation. The brain sends urgent signals to blink. The muscles refuse to move. The pain is a constant white noise humming in the back of your skull. Tear film consists of 3 layers: mucin, water, and oil. This liquid shield prevents the cornea from desiccating. Without blinking, the oil layer breaks first. Water evaporates into the atmosphere. The mucin thickens into a sticky sludge. Oxygen usually enters the eye through these tears. Now the cornea is suffocating. Cells begin to die. The smooth, dome-like surface of the eye starts to warp. Microscopic pits form across the horizon of your vision. Light no longer bends correctly. The world transforms into a smeared watercolor painting. Your eyes are no longer windows, they are drying ponds in a drought. The biological machinery is failing because the lubrication system is offline. For one brief moment, you realize you are seeing more of the world. There are no interruptions, no rhythmic blackouts every few seconds. The visual stream is continuous. This is the peak of your achievement. Then a fly lands directly on your pupil. The fly is a catastrophe. Normally, a blink would eject the insect. Now the fly simply stands there. Its legs scrape against the dehydrated cornea. Because the protective barrier is gone, the scratch is permanent. This creates a gateway for bacteria. Staphylococci and streptococci find a warm, moist environment beneath the drying crust. An infection blooms. The eye turns a vivid, angry red. Inflammation causes the eyelids to swell, though they remain locked open. The pressure inside the globe increases. The pain shifts from a burn to a rhythmic throb. Every heartbeat pushes a wave of agony through the optic nerve. The brain attempts to shut down the visual cortex to escape the stimulus. You are now staring at a world of red haze and pulsing pain. The eye is no longer an organ. It is a biological wound. The body enters a state of systemic shock. The fight or flight response triggers. Adrenaline floods the system. Your heart rate spikes. The brain is convinced the eyes are being eaten by a predator. Because the blinking reflex is an involuntary survival mechanism, the conflict creates a neurological loop. The motor cortex screams for the eyelids to close. The hypothetical constraint keeps them open. This mental tension leads to a localized seizure of the facial muscles. Twitching spreads to the cheeks. The forehead wrinkles into a permanent mask of agony. Meanwhile, the cornea has completely desiccated. It has transitioned from a transparent window to a cloudy, opaque scar. This is called corneal opacity. Light can no longer penetrate to the retina. You are now functionally blind. The agony remains, but the view is gone. The brain is still processing the open signal, but the input is just static. The biological cost of this experiment is a total collapse of the ocular system. Environmental factors now accelerate the destruction. A light breeze carries a speck of pollen. It doesn't just land, it embeds itself into the scarred tissue like a nail in soft wood. Dust accumulates in the corners of the eye. Without tears to wash it away, the debris forms a crusty sediment. The eye becomes a biological sponge for every airborne particle in the room. Lint, dead skin cells, small fragments of dried paint. The ocular surface is now a topographical map of urban pollution. As the tissue continues to shrink from water loss, the eyeball actually recedes into the socket. The surrounding skin begins to fold over the edges of the hardened, pebble-like cornea. The eye has effectively mummified while still inside a living head. The process is clinical. The process is efficient. The process is absolutely miserable. The remaining nerves in the cornea fire random signals of phantom pain. You feel the sensation of 1,000 needles despite the fact that the nerves are literally dying from lack of oxygen. The eye has ceased to be a sensory organ and has become a decorative piece of organic limestone. The experiment concludes. Your eyes are two opaque, hardened spheres of biological waste. You have successfully avoided blinking for a record-breaking amount of time. The physical damage is irreversible. The optic nerves have withered. The corneas are essentially pieces of pumice stone. You can no longer see the world, but you have achieved a strange, terrifying victory. The ocular muscles have finally relaxed, but it doesn't matter. The windows are broken. The house is empty. The light is permanently off. Medical professionals examine the damage. They find the results fascinating. You are awarded a very niche trophy for endurance. However, the insurance company refuses to cover the surgery. They claim that intentionally not blinking constitutes a pre-existing condition caused by gross negligence. This is unfortunate. Your vision is gone, but your curiosity remains. What happens if you try to sneeze with your eyes open? Subscribe to the What If Club for more terrible ideas.